Yeah. Hello, everybody. Welcome back. It's Sherry from Energy Work Studios. I'm here today. I was on the phone with another client. I apologize for being a little bit late, but I am here. So, how is everyone today? Today's topic of discussion. So, let's just see where we're going with this. Okay. Hang on. Ta-da. Okay. So, today's topic of the day. Let me just see if I can pull that up for you. I always leave myself notes. So I'm going to go over a couple of things with you. I worked with a couple of clients this past week. I'm going to go over that with you. And then if you have questions, we can certainly go over that as well. I worked on a woman that had excruciating pain in her shoulder, and she didn't know what to do about it. So I worked on her briefly, and with that, the findings were extraordinary. And I've told you a few times about my own experiences with thinking I injured myself and I didn't, and come to find out it was trapped emotion. So with this particular client, she was having pain anywhere from 8 to 10. That was the pain level. 8 to 10 was crazy. So with that, I said, okay, let's just see what we can find in here. So I worked on her system for a little while, and there was no underlying root issue going on that we needed to work through. So I did find that she had some trapped emotions. Now, what I found was she had wishy-washy, grief, nervousness, shock, hopelessness, rejection, sorrow, fear, anxiety, depression, dread, guilt, sadness, lost. And lastly, she had lust. Now, that's going to sound kind of strange to everybody. And let me just give you a little insight on that. Now, when I send the transcripts off to my clients, I also give them information about some of the odd ones that come up. And that would be classified, I guess, as an odd one. I mean, she picked this up at age 12, so why would she be picking that up? Well, the English language has gotten so distorted through the many, many years. I always leave a description because it's not about sex. Not always, anyway. The majority of it is something else altogether. So with her, it was, believe it or not, an intense desire or an appetite for something. And that something could be also drugs, a drink, food, overwhelming feelings of craving food, sugar, things like that. So that's why you have to break it down and figure out, what age is this person having this? So that's why I always leave a description, especially when something like that comes up, that particular trapped emotion, because it can be very misleading and can be distorted, make people feel uncomfortable. So I always leave descriptions because there's more than one application for a trapped emotion that we find in the body. All right, so that's just one of a few. So her pain level dropped from between 8 and 10. I mean, she was excruciating pain. She had it for a week and she couldn't take it anymore. And she was, working with a neighbor friend of hers, and she helped her also when she probably shouldn't have. She's just a kind heart, and she was helping her neighbor get her cat down. It was stuck somewhere. Hello, Susan. Nice to see you, honey. And she was helping to get her cat. So with that, she strained it even more. So it was just excruciating. So we released the trapped emotions that I could find. There were none others. The next day, the pain was gone. She had no pain. And during the session, she could feel twinges of energy moving through her body. There's no more pain. That was the very next day, it was gone. So that's why I do what I do here. I try to show people or to educate people that things are going on in their bodies, have been there a long, long time. The majority of them have been there since we were children. And it's just multiplying. It's just expanding and duplicating, and that's what we call layers in the business. So that's just one. So let me just check to see who else is here. Let me just turn this on. Hang on. I'd like to put a little heater on under my feet. My feet get cold. Okay, so Susan, how are you? It's so nice to see you, little girl. How are you? I haven't seen you in a little bit. How are things going? And is there anything going on in your system that you feel you might need a little bit of a push? You might need a little help? Or if you're feeling any pain, anxiety, things like that? Or aside from that, are you feeling any depression? Aside from pain, are you feeling depression, anxiety, panic attacks, anything like that going on, honey? So give me an indication of what's going on with you. If there's anything that you would like me to look into, I can do that for you. So in the meantime, while you're thinking about it, you can let me know. And you know what? If Michael is around, that's your husband, let me know. I don't want that on. I'm trying to turn off my phone. If he is interested, if he's home, and he would like me to look into his system, see if there's any trapped emotion surfacing somewhere that's causing him pain, or not so much just pain, but I'm trying to stop because they're not going to stop ringing me. Hang on. I think somebody's trying to get on the show, so let me just see what they're doing. Okay. Okay. On YouTube Live right now. Drop in if you can. All right. That's it. And I'm turning my phone off. There we go. So much better. So now if Michael is there and if he also has something he'd like me to look into, great. Okay, well that's good. I mean, it's been kind of cold lately. If you're just puttering, that's a good thing. I know for a little while you were having some pain with, I'm trying to think what it was called, with your intestines. I think it was colitis. So if there's anything going on with that, let me know. In the meantime, let me just jump back in here and give a little bit more information about a little dog that I worked on this week. Now, I had done a body evaluation on him before I even looked into working with him. Now, his owner came to me and said, I don't know what's going on. He got really sick. Okay. And he didn't really know what to do with it. And he went to work that night feeling really, really discouraged and depressed because he's had the dog a long time. The dog's 13 years old, and he's getting older. And he suddenly, for some strange reason, was throwing up water and he didn't know what the heck was going on with him. So he went to work, but he didn't stay long. He came home. So before he left for work, I told him I would look into his system and work on him if I could. And Susan, don't leave. I've not forgotten about you. So I did. I looked into his system. I did a body evaluation. And anybody that's a new client, I always do a body evaluation on them just to kind of give people an indication of what's going on with their bodies. And they can see within. It gives them a peek within. So with his system, I always check the 4 top that have to be at 100% functioning. His immune system was functioning at only 55%. His brain percent of messages actually reaching his organs and glands was only at 60% capacity. And then his heart percent and light score were 100%. So he was good there. But there were messages not reaching the rest of his organs and glands from the brain. That was part of why he was not feeling well. He wasn't dehydrated. And I did find that in his nervous system, there's 3 divisions in your nervous system. In the parasympathetic nervous system, he he had trapped emotions surfacing there. Okay, so what I did was I just went into his system in general, just to see if we could find anything going on that was just loose in his system for trapped emotions that was surfacing, ready to be released, that could be triggering some of this. And there was. He had a total of, believe it or not, 27 total layers. In other words, that's duplicates. He had 16 trapped emotions in total that were surfacing, but of those 16, 27 of them had duplicated, or in other words, had layered through his life, through his 13 years. So what I found was that was what his subconscious had suggested was in his highest good for us to work on first. So that's what I did. I worked on the trapped emotions surfacing in his body. He was old, and when his owner took him out to go for a walk, he just laid there. He couldn't even get up and walk around. He just laid in the grass. So I did work on his system, and finding trapped emotions surfacing in his body, I found he had heartache rather, at 8 years of age, heartache, sadness, lack of control, confusion, wishy-washy, overwhelm, trapped emotion of overwhelm, shock, rejection, low self-esteem, unworthy, stubbornness, depression, frustration, panic, and grief. Now, those are the 16 that I found or were ready to be duplicated and did. There were 27 total layers of those that we found, okay? Many of them were between the ages of 7, 8, 9, and 10. Those were the ages that he went through lots of tumultuous things that he couldn't process, that were challenging for him. Now, let me give you a little insight on that. His original owner, had him 9 years, and then she got very ill and passed away. So the gentleman that has him now has only been with him 4 years, 5 years, something like that. So that was a trauma for his original owner to cross over and leave. Now, that's just like us as children. Where are we going? What's going to happen to us? That's exactly what he was thinking and feeling. What's going to happen to me? Where am I going? Nervous. You can see where that was here. Frustration, depression, shock, overwhelmed. All of those things affected him when he went through that. So we released them all. The next day, when the gentleman spoke with me about his dog, the dog was up, walking around, and there was no more throwing up, no more vomiting. So whether it's an animal or a person, it doesn't matter. If we go through something that's challenging or difficult especially in our childhood, that's when it starts. It's going to stay there. This doesn't dissolve on its own. It's going to stay there unless you can process it. And the reason it's there in the first place is because you couldn't process it. So it's not going to leave. And it's just going to get worse and worse and worse. And then that's when people get on medications and other things, which also have side effects. So those are Band-Aids. They help temporarily, but they're Band-Aids. Eventually, the system becomes immune and you have to get on something else. So it's a vicious circle, or it can be. So aside from that, let's just see if there's any questions about that so far. So let's just get back to Susan and see if there's anything going on with her. Let's see. She said she's got some upper back, so let me just pencil, see if we can do any work on her. What is today, 13th? Good God, I can't believe Christmas is just around the corner, and this is insane. Unbelievable. It's in 2 weeks. Wow. All right, so it's her, let's see, upper back. Between shoulders. Okay. Feels tense. Spasms. Okay. Tense and spasms. All right. Okay. Okay, so she's gonna take a call at the moment. She's gonna get back to us. So I guess what we're gonna do is work on her system a little bit and see if we can relieve some of that tension that she's feeling between her shoulders. There's some spasm there, it's tense. Let's see if we can find anything. So let me just tune into her system and get that started, at least while she takes that phone call, and then she'll come back. So I'm asking permission, and that's what we do. We ask permission to connect with the subconscious higher self. Now, when we do that, this is what we're doing. We're using muscle testing. This is a yes answer. This is a no answer. Okay. And all that means is you're connecting with your client's subconscious higher self, because the subconscious knows everything about the individual and holds that information. Whereas the conscious mind doesn't always remember everything and doesn't hold everything. It's like the traffic cop. You know, if you come to a light, stop, it's a red light. Or if there's somebody crossing the street and you're not even at a stop sign, but there's a pedestrian crossing, stop. There's a person in the street, things like that. That's what the brain does. It helps us to motivate and navigate through life. Okay. So as we connect with Susan, let's just take a minute to do that. And I'm a clairaudient and I work with a spirit team. So I'm asking them to help. Asking Divine Source Council, creator of all that is, to come to me from the higher realms, upper heavens, and 100% love light frequencies to my heart center, to my subconscious higher self, with discernment and knowledge about Susan. So as we begin, and we're working with the emotion code, body code, and more, I'm in training to do more work. Let's tune into Susan's subconscious higher self lovingly. Connected. So I got a yes. Yes now. So I have connection to her. So while she's taking her phone call, she's giving me information. We can work on her. So let's just see. So her upper back is giving her some problem, a little bit of pain. And it's between her shoulders. So it's right in the middle. It's tense, there's spasms. Is there an underlying root issue going on here that's triggering that? No, there isn't. Okay, so let's just see what else it might be. So let me just pull this up a little bit. Okay, so let's just see what else it might be. Is there trapped emotion here? Okay, there is. Okay, so is there trapped emotion surfacing in her field of energy that's triggering this? There is. Okay. So there's trapped emotion surfacing in her body in general, just in general. And then we can also test her organs and glands to see if maybe there's an organ or a gland that is struggling and wants our attention. Okay, so we can do that too. So let's just ask, is there also maybe an organ or a gland that's struggling and wants our attention? And that there's trapped emotion surfacing at, let's say, an organ that's triggering the pain she's feeling between her shoulders. Okay, how about she have any trapped emotion at her glands triggering the pain she's feeling between her shoulders, upper back? No. Okay. So we've got trapped emotion surfacing for now in her system throughout. Let's find where it is and release it. So this is the chart that we're going to use. Okay. Let me just move this out of the way. So this is the chart. So there's two columns. It's column A, it's column B, and we're going to use muscle testing now that we've connected to her to find it. So these are the organs and glands, okay, that bring in the emotion that's stuck, okay, of these two columns. And then once it's in the body, it can get trapped anywhere. But these are the ones that call it in directly. All right. So let's see where we're going to go with that. All right. So I'm going to leave this right here and see what we find. All right. So as we begin, where are we going? Column A, column B. Okay. So it's in column B. 6, 5, 4, 3. So it's in column B, row 3. Let's see. So it's in column B, right here. Column B. And we're going to go to 3. So you can see it's right here. These are the two organs or glands that draw it in. I'm going to go all the way over here. So we're going to ask, of these 5, is one of them coming to the surface, wanting to be released? All right. So as we continue, B3, is it confusion, trapped emotion of confusion? Oh, defensiveness, is it grief? Is it self-abuse? Yes, it's self-abuse. All right, so let's ask a question here. We know her age. So is it something that she picked up between the ages of 60, 65, 50, 60, 50, 30, 40, 20, 30, 15, 20? She picked it up around 18. Now, the age is usually only off about a year-ish, if it's off at all. Maybe a year above or below. Usually very close. So she picked this up at age 18. Okay, so let's just see. Hang on a minute. Do we need more information about it? No. Let's release it. Lovingly one. And this is how we release it using the governing meridian. And that's right here. This is where it starts. It goes up over the crown, down the full length of your back to the base. The governing meridian. It's in Chinese medicine. It's the only one that we use of the meridians. It's the largest, and that is the reason we use it, because it will pull things out. So as we continue, we can either use your fingertips that are magnetized or a magnet, a regular magnet. Now I'll do both. Okay, this is just something that was on my refrigerator and I pulled off to show people as an example. All right, so I'll use the magnet first, and then we'll go back in if we find more and use my fingertips. So, trapped emotion of self-abuse. Do we need more information here? No. Can we release it? Let's release it lovingly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have we successfully released it? Yes, we have. Okay, so that's been released. And that's how we release it. And the reason we use magnets or fingertips, because they're magnetized, is because they're very powerful carriers of intention. So when you set the intention, that's what this works about. You set your intention of whatever the subconscious has brought us to and found to be stuck. Then we set the intention, okay, we're going to release self-abuse from her system. And then we use the magnet to do the follow through in the governing meridian. Okay? So let's continue. Let's move on. She have more trapped emotion triggering the pain between her shoulders. Yeah, so let's find out where it is. Is it column A, column B again? 6, 5, 3. It's in the same area. So B3 again, is it stubbornness, self-abuse, grief, defensiveness? Okay, so let's see where we're going to go with that. Is this prenatal, preconception? No. Is this something she picked up between, I believe she's 62. So it's something she picked up between 60, 62, 60, 40, 50, 30, 40, 20, 30, 15, 20. She picked it up at age 20. And I like to take my time doing this for a reason, so that people can just watch and take your time with it. Okay, so do we need more information here? No, let's release the trapped emotion of defensiveness she picked up at age 20. Now I'm going to use my fingertips this time instead of a magnet. Okay, so lovingly, again at the governing meridian, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Successfully released it? Yeah, so you can see whether you use a magnet or your fingertips is immaterial, because your fingertips are magnetized as well. Okay, so we have released it. Let's continue. She have more trapped emotion surfacing in her system, in her field of energy, that's triggering this pain. Yes. Column A, column B. 6, 5. 1. We're going to 1. Same column. Vulnerability, overjoy, insecurity. Let's see when she picked that up. That's a trapped emotion. Is this something she picked up that was prenatal, preconception? No. This is something she picked up between 60, 62, 50, 60, 40, 50, 30, 40, 20, 30, 15, 20, 17. Do we need more information? Let's release it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Have we successfully released it? Yes. Okay. Let's continue. Does she still have more trapped emotion here? Yes. Let's continue. Column A. I'm going to column A this time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to row 5. Let's see what that is. Okay, so let me just show you that on the chart. Okay, so this is 5 right here. We'll go column A rather, and we'll go into 5. All right. We're going to pick up these 5. We're going to ask about these 5 and see which one it might be. Is it blaming, dread, fear, horror, irritated? Okay. Irritated. And so is this prenatal, preconception? No. Is this something she picked up between 60, 62, 60, 40, 50, 30, 40, 20, 30, 15, 20, 19? Most of it, again, like I mentioned earlier, most of what we pick up is in our youth or our childhood. And it just stays there. And then it just keeps adding to it. So now we have layer upon layer upon layer of that same trapped emotion, but more of it. Trapped emotion, one trapped emotion is the size of your fist. So hold it up in front of you for those that are watching. That's the size of a trapped emotion, okay? So she picked this up at age 19. Do we need more information? No, let's release it. 5. Successfully released? Yes. All right, let's keep going. Does she still have more trapped emotion here, triggering the pain she's in between her shoulders? Yes. Column A. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Okay, so we're going to A2. A2, is it anxiety? Is it despair, disgust, nervousness? So there's nervousness there. Okay, so let's find out when she picked this up. Is this something she picked up between prenatal, preconception, something between 60, 62, 50, 60, 40, 50, 30, 40, 20, 30, 15, 20, 17. See, here we go. Nervousness at age 17. Do we need more information? No, let's release. Success. All right, we've released it. Let me just see. Continue. And I'll sell it so it doesn't make any noise. Column B, column A, because she does have more. 3, we're going to 3. So again, we're going to A3, we're in the A column. A, okay, A, we're going to 3. And we're going to ask of these 5. There's always 5 in each cell block. We're going to ask of these 5 and see where we go with that, okay? A3, crying. And you can have crying. And the reason I always leave a description about that as well, just like I talked earlier about the word lust. Crying is something that can be suppressed if we don't let that out. Whether you're male or female is immaterial. We need to let that out. So if somebody is suppressing that and they're not allowing that to come out, that's going to hinder your body. So there's crying, discouragement, rejection, sadness, sorrow, okay? So let's see when this happened. Is this prenatal, preconception? No. Is this something she picked up between 60, 62, 50, 60, 40, 50, 30, 40, 20, 30, 15, 20, 10, 15, 12, age 12. Okay. Do we need more information? No. Let's release it lovingly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Successful. Yep. Here it is. Okay. Just see if she's back. Just let her know. All right. Let's see. And that's not it. And let's see. I'm trying to just let her know to come back in. I know she had to take a phone call just to let her know to come back in. Let's see if I can find her. And quiet. Let's see. Susan. Okay, here we go. Okay, let's just see if we can give her a buzz. And I'll keep working on her at the same time.
Hi, stranger.
Hi, I'm live with you and I am working on your body.
You're live doing my body?
I'm working on you. You said you had a couple of things that were off.
Oh, even though you signed off? Yeah.
No, even though you had to take a phone call. I'm still live, so I'm still working on your system. So.
Oh, I popped back in. but it didn't look like it. Looked like the arrow was all the way over. I thought you left it.
No. I'm still here. So I'm still working on your body. We've already released 6 trapped emotions from that area. So what would you say the pain level was?
Probably like a 5, 6. I had just got done using my vacuum,
Yeah.
my canister vacuum, which you hate.
Yeah. That's okay. Okay, so the pain levels are between a 5 and a 6. Okay, so I'm going to just keep working on your system and see if we can release the trapped emotions that are caught there, okay, triggering that pain, okay? Because you said the pain was between 5 and 6. Let's see if we can get rid of that. So as we continue, does she still have more trapped emotion caught, but surfacing in her field, triggering the pain between her shoulders? Yes. Okay, where are we going? Column B, column A, all right? Where are we going to go? 3, 6, 5, 4, 3. We're going back to 3. I guess I knew that intuitively. A3. So we're going to go back to that. Is it sorrow, sadness, rejection? All right. So let's see when she picked that trapped emotion up. Is this something she picked up between 60, 62, 50, 60, 40, 50, 30, 40, 20, 30, 15, 20?
Hang up your phone.
Okay. 16. She picked it up at age 16. So let's just see. Do we need more information here? No. So let's release the trapped emotion of rejection lovingly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Success. Yep. We released it. Okay. And she's back with us. Yeah. Okay. So as we continue to work with her system, does she still have more trapped emotion at the shoulders, upper back, triggering all that pain? Column A, column B. Where do we go from here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. We're going to B6. Let me just show you where that is, folks. This is B. Okay, so this is, I think this is B here. Let's turn this around and go this way. This is B. This is the row that we're going, or the column that we're going to, and we're going to go to row 6. And these are the 5 that I'm going to be asking about right here. Okay, so let's just see where we're going to go. Is it pride? Is it shame? Is it shock? Unworthy? Yes. She felt unworthy. That got stuck in her field. Let's see when she picked that up. Is this something she picked up between, is this prenatal, preconception? Something between 60, 62, 50, 60, 40, 50, 30, 40, 20, 30, 15, 20, 17. Do we need more information here? Let's release it. 3, 4, 5. Have we released it? Yes. Okay. Continue. She still has more trapped emotion here. Column A, column B. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're going to 1. Is it vulnerability, overjoy, insecurity, heartache? There was some heartache she experienced. Let's just see when. Is this prenatal, preconception? Nope. Is this something she picked up between 60, 62, 50, 60, 40, 50, 30, 40, 20, 30, 15, 20, 10, 15? 15, age 15. Now, if you remember, this is a yes. That's why I try to slow it down. This is a yes. So she picked it up at age 15. Do we need more information? No. That's a no. Continue to release. 2, 3, 4, 5. Success. All right. Let's just turn that off. And I'll just turn this off altogether. And there we go. She still have more trapped emotion here. Yes, column A. Column B. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We're in 1 again. Vulnerability, overjoy, insecurity, heartache. Okay, so there's another layer here now. Okay, that's what I was talking about, layering or duplicates. And that is the reason why so much turbulence can happen in your field of energy, because you can have many, many, many of the same one duplicating over and over and over and over. So it's not just the 60 that we work with here. There's 60 altogether, but you can have several of these duplicate themselves many times over. And that's what causes the problem, okay? The layering. And now it's weighing heavy because everything has a frequency to it. Everything here is energy. And every piece of anything here has a vibration to it, just like emotions. They have a frequency. Let's see what we got. Anything? Oh, she was in a car accident at 16. So see, a lot of things took place. Wow. She's telling us that she can already feel a release. So that's awesome. That's wonderful, Susan. Okay, so as we continue, so heartache almost brings me to tears. That's why I love doing these these free segments on Wednesdays to help people understand everything is energy and has a vibration to it, a frequency to it. All we're doing is working with an individual or an animal's subconscious, and it's directing us where to go in the body to find it and release it, pull it out. Okay. So anybody, listen to this now. Any of you that are watching, you can also bring an animal on. If you have an animal that's not feeling quite right, you're not really sure what's going on, bring your animal on. We can at least look to see if we can release some trapped emotion from the animal's body, okay? Especially if there was trauma there, you know, or if it was ever hit by a car, things like that. That's trauma, and that's still in the body. That's still in the body. And I'm going to leave you with this, guys, as I continue with Susan. We just released heartache again, another layer, so we don't need to know the age. We're just going to release it lovingly. 2, 4, 5, success. So we're going to release it, and we've done that. I was going to tell you something about the dog. If it get hit by a car, like myself, I was in a car accident back in 2005. And Susan, this is going to probably work with you too, with my grandmother. I just recently did some more work on myself, and I work on myself every week or every other week at the very latest. And I found some trapped emotion, residual trapped emotions still caught there, deep, very deep seated, that just surfaced from that car accident in 2005. What year are we in right now, guys? 2023. So I released it, and I could feel a twinge of pain in my left side in the rib cage, and that's right where I hit the steering wheel. Was right here, just above. Let me see if I can stand up a little bit. Just above the rib cage, right here, all the way across. Boom! I mean, really hard, and my grandmother was injured as well. That residual energy was still there. That's what we just released from my system this week. And I can tell you that that pain that I was having, it was a sharp pain. It wasn't a stabbing pain or anything like that, but it was an annoying tension pain. It was really painful. I released it. The very next day, the pain was gone. I've not had a problem with it yet. That was a week ago. So just to let you know, I'm not above it. I work on myself. You can't help other people if you don't understand the work and you're not working on yourself. So with Susan, we released heartache, another layer of that. Okay, so let's see if she's got more. And she probably has residual energy left over from a car accident that she was involved in with her mom's car. So we can check that. So in the meantime, does she still have more trapped emotions surfacing right now, triggering the pain in the upper back? Yes. Is it safe to continue to work on her? And I ask that always. Is it okay to continue? Because sometimes the organs and glands can become overtaxed and too tired. And then that's when we stop. So as we continue, just see, Susan is here. I just want to make sure if there's anybody else here that would like to try this as well. Please step up and let me know you're here. Okay, so as we continue, there's more trapped emotion here. Column B. 6, 2, we're in 2, B2. So where do we go? The next 5, grouping of 5 always. Is it failure, helpless, hopeless? See how we're getting a no as we keep going? Hopeless, lack of control, low self-esteem. See how it just stuck? It just gets stuck. That's how you know you're doing the right thing. Okay, so it's low self-esteem. Let's see how this worked. Esteem. Okay, so is this prenatal, preconception? Nope. Is this something she picked up between 60, 62, 50, 60, 40, 50, 30, 40, 20, 30, 15, 20, 5, 6, 7, 8. She picked this up at 8 years old. So you see what I'm saying, folks? This all starts in our childhood or our youth and stays there if we haven't been able to process it. So something made her feel like she had very low self-esteem about herself. At 8, we're taking that out right now. Do we need more information? No, let's release it. 2, 3, 4, 5. Successful? We got a big fat yes. Okay, let's keep going. Does she have more trapped emotion here, triggering the pain she's feeling in the upper back? Column B, 6, 5, 2. We're back at 2 again. Okay, so where do we go? Low self-esteem, lack of control, helplessness. Let's see where that's going. Is this prenatal, preconception? Because you can pick up things in the womb from mom. Whatever your mother is feeling or experiencing, okay? My glasses are driving me crazy. You're going to pick up, because everything she's feeling is attached to you. You're in it. So you're feeling everything she is. So you can come out even with a heart walk. So it's so crazy. Oh, I'm so sorry. She felt helpless. That's where the helplessness came in. She was in school at 8 years old, and she fell in assembly. And there was 100 other kids hanging around. So that was embarrassing to say the least, but she felt helpless. Okay, so as we continue, age 8, let's see where helplessness came in. Is this prenatal, preconception? Is this something she picked up between the ages of 60, 62, 50, 60, 40, 50, 30, 40, 30, 40, 20, 30, 15, 20, 10, 15, 5 and 10, 8 for helplessness. Do we need more information? No, it's released. Success. Okay, helplessness was released. So the low self-esteem is what I meant to say, that she was picking up when she was 8 years old, when she had that mishap during an assembly. Very embarrassing, to say the least. So as we continue, she have more trapped emotion here, triggering the pain in the upper back. No, have we completely, let me just have a sip, and have some water if you would, Susan, right now. If you have some water with you, please take a sip. And I drink water and elderberry syrup every day. Probably this much elderberry syrup and the rest is water. It's wonderful for your body. I drink it constantly. So as we continue, have we totally released completely all trapped emotions surfacing in her system, triggering the pain in the upper back? Yes, we have. Let's see how many she had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. She had 12 layers of trapped emotions, and she had 11 in total. So in other words, one of them duplicated a couple of times, and that was the heartache. It duplicated a couple of times, and that's where you get the layering, okay? So just so that you are aware, she had 12 layers of trapped emotion just in one spot. Now again, folks, I want you to do this in front of your face, your fist, okay? That's how large, or baseball, that's how large just one trapped emotion is. And we just found in her 11 of these, this size, right here at the top of her upper back, causing all that pain. 11, in other words, but there were 12 layers of it. There's a total of 12, okay? Fun, not fun, not fun. Okay, so as we continue, Susan, can you tell me, I know you were the pain, okay, you took the words out of my mouth. Her pain level is now at 2, 2 or 3. That's awesome, honey. That's so wonderful. You're very welcome. I'm glad that you stepped up. Good for you. And I'm just going to ask one more question here. Does she have any underlying root issue going on, or any residual trapped energy, low frequency, from the accident she was in using her mom's car? Does she have any more of that trapped energy, residual energy from that accident in her system? No. Whatever you went through, you processed it, so it's not there. All right. Thanks so much, Susan. I'm glad you came in. I hope you have a better day. I hope to see you soon. You take care. Bye for now. So again, if there's anybody else that would like to step up, that's fine. I'm just going to leave you with a little tiny bit of information so that you are aware how this works. And that was just 2 incidents that I gave you. One was a dog that was 13 years old and is doing better, is walking and is not vomiting anything. So what I want to give you is, let's see, a little information about how this actually works. All right. Trapped emotion energies. So let me just pull up a few more notes because I accidentally, I'm sorry, closed the window. So let me just pull that back up. Let's see. Is that what I wanted to give you guys? No. Well, for your information anyway, you know what? I do have something here. Wait a minute. I'm sorry. I'm looking in all the wrong places. Okay. So, when we release trapped emotions from people's bodies, there we go. Okay, now, can you guys still see me? Hello, I'm still here. The sun's peeking out. Oh, how nice. Let me get outside. Okay, so, what we're doing is we're communicating with your subconscious higher self. And this work was designed to help alleviate physical and emotional wounds by identifying and correcting the root cause of whatever it is. So sometimes it's nothing deeper than just trapped emotion energy. And that's what we just did. But with that said, the body does go through internal changes and shifting and letting go of stuck emotional frequencies. It's kind of a bit of a shift for the body because it's recalibrating and adjusting from low vibration junk in the trunk. It's releasing that so that it can work better, more efficiently, the way it was supposed to, the way it was intended. And all the work that I do is all remote. So a person is sleeping while I work on them, and an animal, same thing, they're with their master. And I don't have to have somebody come to an office for me to be able to work on them. This works remotely. I've got clients that I work on in Spain, Hong Kong, Australia. So you don't have to be present as long as I have your permission and you're relaxing. So some people work from home, and while they're home, they're taking a break if they're awake and I'm working on them. They're taking a break. They're not working. They're pushing their work aside and they're just taking a break. They're going to go in the other room, sit in a chair, go lay on a bed, lay on a couch, but they're taking a break. The sessions are 50 minutes, and they take a break if they're not sleeping, okay? So anytime someone has an emotional experience in life, the emotions, if they didn't get fully processed, that's how they become trapped in the body. That's why we call them trapped energies or trapped emotions. And 95% of people and animals, physical or emotional trauma or unwellness is because of this. It's because of this. So the energy remains stuck until we can release it. And while it's there, it's going to cause a rifle of different things: inflammation, physical pain, congestion, recurring emotional distress, depression, anxiety, and so on, and many more. So, like I've said, everything is energy and has a vibration. Now, this also includes your organs and your glands. They have a specific frequency for your body. They vibrate at a specific frequency. So if we have a lot of this low vibration energy from emotions stuck in the body, it's going to weigh them down. It's not going to work. The whole body is going to be affected, as well as the organs and glands. Okay. So what happens is some of these vibrations that we attract are so low in frequency They weaken the whole body, not just the organs and glands, and they work less effectively. What can happen is liver or heart disease, stomach ulcers, hernias, kidney stones, cancer, diverticulitis, gallbladder issues, thyroid issues, knee and hip issue. And I know I've talked about this many, many times. And I'm sure you've heard of friends of your own, people that have had hip replacements, knee replacements, gallbladder replaced, thyroid replaced. We're not supposed to have our body parts replaced. The main trigger is the upset in the body of energy vibration that's too low for our own bodies. And it's upsetting the system's flow. So it can't work effectively, okay? So let me see what else I can give you for information. It goes a whole lot deeper in the body. It works with circuitry systems, chakras, acupuncture, meridians, energy circuits of the organs and glands. So it works so effectively once you figure out how to work with it. And it's a very simple process. It's wonderful. It's muscle testing, kinesiology muscle testing. And this is not new work. This has been around since 1964. And that was also developed by a chiropractor in 1964. So many nutritionists and chiropractors use kinesiology muscle testing. So sometimes we have to work in a certain order when I'm working on a person's body or an animal's body, as the body's not always ready for a relief. It's not ready. So we work on what comes to the surface. Each time we work on a person or an animal, deep-seated things, junk, comes to the surface. It's just like churning butter. Cream comes to the surface, right? It's the same thing. It's the same premise. Junk comes to the surface. So once it's ready to surface and be released, that's when we can grab it. Okay, just so that you have an understanding of that. That's when we can grab that kind of work. So let's see what else. Well, I think we've been on long enough. I don't think I have much time now. So if you have any questions, please leave me a comment here. Subscribe to my channel. That way you'll be notified when I'm going to go live. And I'm working to be more consistent with every Wednesday and not have conferences. Even if it's a conference call, I'm trying to work around my schedule so that I can still have this on Wednesdays. Because I just feel it's important, and I want to continue with this for people. I've had a lot of people contact me and say they like the show so much and that they learn a lot from it. So with that said, I'm working, very hard to stay with Wednesdays and have conferences on different days. Okay, so stay with me. So I'll be here again next Wednesday. Same time, 12:30 Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, go to my website, energyworkstudio.com. If you have any questions, there's a lot of information there. It's going to show you heart wall information. What is a heart wall anyway? It's going to show you what that. It's going to give you a brief explanation about that. There's a video. You can also watch an educational video on the homepage of me doing this work. So it's a discussion. It's going to show you the chart. It's going to show you with me working how that actually works. It's going to give you some information. So that might be interesting as well. Videos are kind of easier to take too, I think. So in the meantime, I hope that everybody has a great week. Love and light coming your way, and smile. Positive thoughts. What we think, what we say, we bring about. So stay with your positive thinking and words. All right, everybody. Bye for now. See you next Wednesday.